In my past life, my closest friend Tia Shen talked me into going to a remote village to teach. Smooth words, sweet lies. I ended up trafficked, abused, forced to bear a child. While she secretly dated my boyfriend, I couldn't take the humiliation. I chose to die with that family. In my final moment, a voice asked, "Are you willing to accept this?" Then darkness, then light. I opened my eyes to my university dorm room, familiar yet strange. The place I'd spent 2 years of my life. "Clara, are you even listening to me?" The voice yanked me back. Tia, my roommate, her face annoyed, eyes hiding something I could now recognize. "Clara, you're always saying you want to find meaning in life. My cousin's looking for volunteer teachers in a village. You could go there, get away for a bit, make Liam sweat, see if he still dares to stand you up." Looking at her face, I remembered everything. In my past life, she'd said these exact words, and I'd been stupid enough to believe her. I'd thrown some clothes in a bag, jumped on a train, and left without telling anyone. Not my family, not my boyfriend. Just wanted to get away for a while, and I never came back. In my past life, I followed the address Tia gave me to He County, remote, impoverished, surrounded by mountains, villages tucked into hillsides with barely any roads. When I arrived, regret hit immediately. It was too isolated, too poor. At the bus station, illegal taxi drivers circled like vultures, eyes sharp on me, a walking wallet. I pulled out my phone and called Liam, the boyfriend I'd been fighting with. It rang. Someone picked up, but it wasn't Liam's voice. "He's in the shower, his phone's here. You need something urgent?" My mind went blank. After a pause, I managed, "Is Liam at the basketball club locker room shower? Please let him talk to me. It's important." "No, he's at the Holiday Inn near campus." In my past life, that news shattered me. The world collapsed. Looking back now, that phone call was nothing, a mosquito bite compared to what came next. Then Tia's cousin Kellen picked me up at the station and drove me to Shen Family Village. Shen Family Village made fireworks for a living. The air always smelled faintly of gunpowder. Every man wore a small flare around his neck. Callan explained it was fire safety. If fireworks ignited wrong, they could signal everyone. I didn't fully buy it, but kept quiet. Village customs, I told myself. The village had one school next to the community center. The first few days, the chief, who also acted as principal, hosted me warmly. Kids gathered around, begging for stories about city life. It was peaceful, quiet, chimney smoke curling at dusk, mountains stretching endlessly, soothing my broken heart after the breakup. One flaw, no phone signal. My smartphone became a flashlight. On day 7, September 10th, Teacher's Day, a child delivered an invitation. The chief wanted to host me for dinner at the community center. Attending Kellen, the chief's wife, and the chief's youngest son, Hang, also my student. Hang was cheerful and outgoing. After eating, he insisted on toasting me. Teacher Clara, you teaching us Chinese? Is the best. Your voice is pretty, and you're way better looking than you from the East End." He shoved a glass into my hand, then nestled against his mom, grinning. "Drink up. If you don't, you're disrespecting me." I found it amusing, an 8-year-old mimicking adults. But I didn't want to ruin the mood. I drank. "Clara, you're acting so weird today." TA's voice pulled me back. "I'm doing this for your own good. This teaching spot is super competitive. I begged my cousin to hold it for you. Low-pressure teaching, you can hike, play in the water, enjoy nature. It'll be great." Great my ass, I thought. In my past life, I'd unsuspectingly drunk that glass Hank handed me. Soon after, I passed out. Woke up, tied up in a shed, hands and feet bound. Screamed until my throat gave out. No one came. 3 days without food. I was going mad with thirst when the chief and Kellen finally appeared. Kellen held half a bottle of water, looking down at me. I knew it might be drugged. I crawled to him anyway. Rubbed my face against his pant leg like a dog, begging. Dignity? Gone. I drank. Passed out again. When I woke, I'd been sold to a family at the East End, bought by a man named Garrett Gow, Neo's father. At first, I begged, pleaded, promised money if he'd let me go. He beat me. Worthless bitch. I spent good money on you for sons, not to listen to your whining. That night was the worst of my life. It lasted maybe 2 or 3 minutes. But in my head, I'd imagined marriage so differently. Love, companionship, 3 meals a day, 4 seasons, a cute child. Instead, I got Garrett. Unwashed, reeking, fists flying, grinning while unbuckling his belt. 3 years in that house. I tried escaping over and over. Got caught every time. Each time, worse beatings. He liked hitting my head. Fist after fist. Said he loved hearing me whimper and beg. Occasionally, when in a good mood, he let me walk around the village. Slowly, I learned Shen family village's truth. The fireworks business was a cover. They ran human trafficking, terrible living conditions, crushing poverty, greed. The whole village had turned. Some men worked cities, tricking and kidnapping women and children. Others handled buyers and deliveries. Few women lived in the village. I'd noticed my first days but dismissed it. Those women I glimpsed with fear in their eyes? I hadn't understood. Garrett wasn't scared I'd escape. Those flares around every man's neck? Signal flares. They had a pact. If anyone's bought woman ran, every man hunted. Whoever found her lit their flare. All in it together. The village was infamous in He County for their ferocity. My family came looking after I disappeared. The village had experience. They'd hide all trafficked women in remote caves, drug them, postcards, then produce the letter they'd forced me to write saying I'd found love and run off to chase freedom. Police searched, family searched. No one found me. The world I'd known slipped further away until I almost forgot my own name. In Shen family village, I wasn't Clara, parents' beloved daughter. I was Garrett's bought wife, Neo's mother, a hen that wouldn't lay eggs. 3 years. No pregnancy. Garrett's eyes grew darker, meaner. I knew he was an animal, but I never imagined he'd touch Neo. Unlike Garrett, Neo was good. When Garrett beat me until I couldn't leave bed, Neo would stand on a chair, lift a heavy iron ladle and cook me thin porridge. When I cried under blankets from homesickness, she'd wipe my tears with small, dark hands. When chains locked me in the yard, she'd climb mountains for wildflowers just to make me smile. As a girl in that village, life was hard for her too. Yet she saved me food. Always. 1,000+ nights. Niu and me, clinging together like the only candle flame in dark Shen family village. I greedily soaked in that warmth, trying to survive the endless cold night. Teacher Clara, she said once, eyes bright as stars. When I grow up, I'll rescue you. We'll leave the mountains together. Then? Can I call you Mom? New's mother had been Garrett's first purchase, bought with 3 piglets. Poor village hygiene. She died after giving birth to a girl. Garrett wanted sons. Got a daughter. Oh, he never looked kindly on Niu. The village raised Niu collectively. My Niu, such a good child, didn't get to grow up. Died that winter. Garrett spent everything buying me. 3 years, no child. He couldn't afford another woman. So he arranged a wife swap with a man at the West End. That family's bought wife had birthed 3 sons in a few years. Garrett figured swapping would get him a boy too, but they didn't want me. They wanted Niu, just turned 12. Already had her first period. Niu thought her dad was finally being nice. She followed cheerfully to the West End. By sunset, Garrett staggered home drunk, alone, chained with a meter of iron. I couldn't move. Begged him to find Niu. Wolves came down from mountains at night. Niu was so small. He got annoyed. Drunk rage exploded. Leapt from his chair, grabbed my throat, and drove fist after fist into my temple. Blood flooded my vision. While he ranted, all because you couldn't give me a son. Had to give Neo away. But at least it's not free. His woman is fertile. Those sons will be mine. Neo's just as useless as you. She went and dashed her head against a wall. Died. Didn't even get the bride price back. Bad luck. I stopped hearing after that. Each punch brought crackling sounds, my own bones breaking. With my last strength, I bit into Garrett's throat. He screamed like a slaughtered pig. Hot blood sprayed. Evil men bleed warm too. Then I died. Sank into dark consciousness. Until a gentle voice asked, "Are you willing to accept this?" No, I wasn't. I wasn't willing that my trusted friend betrayed me. Wasn't willing my aging parents spent years searching. Wasn't willing Kaina Niu died before growing up. Maybe that obsession moved heaven. It gave me another chance. Tia was still talking, unaware. In my past life, Kellen said I'd been sent by Tia, but I couldn't recall knowing anyone named Tia in the village. Tia Shen. When we first met, I'd complimented her name. Elegant, pretty. She'd stammered, changed the subject. In that village where every man had a flair, her birth name must have been Shenja Odi, which means waiting for brother. She'd changed it after coming to college, ashamed. She deliberately tricked me, planned my trafficking. My head itched, like growing a brain. Once I understood, I couldn't hold back. I rolled my shoulders, wound up, and in Tia's shocked face, smack. Satisfying, but not satisfying enough. More people needed payback. Couldn't tip her off yet. Before Tia recovered, I faked apology, grabbed her hand. "Oh, Tia. Sorry, I was possessed. Thought you were that jerk, Liam. Does it hurt? Want me to kiss it better?" Tia subtly pulled away. "It's fine. Good actress. No wonder I never saw her true face before. Since she was acting, so could I. Wasting time on her was pointless. I had things to do, plus I couldn't push too hard. Shen Family Village was tightly organized. Without her referral, I couldn't get in, couldn't save Nuyu and those other women. This needed planning. I went home, hugged my confused parents, cried hard, then locked myself in my room to think. I'm no saint. Getting rebirth was miracle enough. If trying to save others got me killed the same way, I'd lose my mind. But closing my eyes, I saw Niu. If Garrett couldn't buy me this time, he might hurt Niu sooner. And that village had trafficked so many innocent girls. I couldn't ignore it. Sleepless night. Next morning, I dragged myself to class with huge dark circles. At the classroom door, Liam waited, annoyed. "Clara, you waited only a few hours at the theater. Is that worth ignoring my calls for days?" Classmates whispered. Pointed. Idiot, I'd almost forgotten him. After everything, my feelings for Liam were dead. But curiosity lingered. Who'd he cheats with last time? While he ranted, I grabbed his phone and bolted into the women's bathroom. With everyone watching, Liam couldn't follow. Maybe he thought old Clara wouldn't check his phone. He hadn't even deleted chats. His top contact, my little baby. Avatar identical to Tia's. Scrolling their flirty messages and spicy photos, I felt sick. Liam was desperate. Roommate of his girlfriend? So that's why Tia wanted me gone. Trash man, trash woman, perfect match. If they wanted each other so badly, fine. But why kill me? Before Liam stormed in, I copied evidence to my phone, then strolled out. Liam fumed. "Clara, are you breaking up or what? Idiot. Your phone's in the toilet." Saving New and the others wouldn't be easy. Alone? Impossible. I decided to go to the police first. I told investigators about a girl I knew who'd gone missing in He County. Her last call mentioned Shen Family Village. That's when I learned they'd been investigating trafficking there for a year. No evidence. Every time police approached, lookouts warned the village. Women disappeared. With my insistence, they agreed. I'd go undercover, collect evidence. They'd surround the village quietly, waiting for the signal. Dangerous plan, high reward. If we succeeded, exposed their crimes, those girls and Niu could be saved. Otherwise, they'd repeat my last life's fate. Before starting, I trained obsessively. Gym, martial arts. Dusted off childhood self-defense skills. If things went wrong, I'd need to protect myself. I had my parents request a leave from school. After slapping Tia, she'd kept distance. Fine, if the mountain won't come to me, I'll go to the mountain. Tia grew up poor, never had nice things. Before, I'd bought her matching clothes and snacks to protect her feelings. Winning her back was easy. One bubble tea a day. Soon she was texting good morning and good night like we were besties again. Tia was crucial. In my past life, depressed, I hadn't paid attention to the route from He County to the village. And the villagers wouldn't trust a random woman showing up alone. I needed her referral. Soon, police signaled readiness. Right on cue, when I mentioned wanting to get away, Tia eagerly recommended Shen Family Village. Like last time, Kellen met me at the bus station. Unlike last time, I wore multiple GPS trackers. My bag held self-defense gear, high-voltage flashlight, taser, personalized knife, pepper spray, rescue knife. Looking at scrawny Kellen, I almost felt bad for him. On the drive, he tried extracting info. I stuck to my script. Parents are busy. Don't even know I left. Boyfriend? Blocked him. Ti's my only friend. She's the only one who knows where I am. Hearing Tia's name, Kellen didn't react. Confirmed she was the same Tia from last time. Maybe my made-up story made me seem perfect victim material. Kellen grew pleased, hummed. Didn't notice the black van trailing us. This time, the chief placed me at the village school again. With eyes open, everything was suspect. Few students, 20-something crammed into one class, mostly boys. Only 2 girls often kept home. Garrett's house wasn't wealthy. He was lazy, never worked. Niu wouldn't be in school. I desperately wanted to check on Niu, but couldn't yet. First day after school, Niu came to me. Teacher Clara? Go, they're all bad people. She clung to the windowsill, stretching on tiptoes, face streaked with tears and snot. Seeing me frozen, she panicked harder. Believe me, run! If you don't leave now, it'll be too late. My first day in Shen Family Village. No one knew my name except Kellen. How did Niu know? Only one possibility. Niu had also been reborn. My eyes burned. Days of suppressed emotion broke. I held her, asked what I couldn't last time. Niu, did it hurt when you hit the wall? I missed you so much. Niu had sneaked out while Garrett was drunk. She'd heard about a pretty new teacher at the village school and knew it was me. Came to warn me. Feeling her spine through thin clothes broke my heart. I pulled out chocolate I'd packed for her, unwrapped it, stuffed it in her mouth. Eat up. Once we're out, I'll buy you all the snacks. Niu didn't know what snacks were. She cared about out. Teacher Clara, did you come back to take me away? I squeezed her cheek, explained the plan slowly. Niu knew the village terrain better than anyone. Critical help. Then she surprised me. I know which families bought wives. I can write you a list. You taught me writing. Every time they bring someone new, they auction her. Highest bidder wins. The unchosen ones get sold to other villages. The chief calls us little ears. They never hide things from kids. After Niu left, I radioed Captain Chun. Silence. Then, prioritize your and Niu's safety. Evacuate if needed. We'll always have your back. Day 2, I wandered the village under home visit pretext. The chief and Kellen were confident I couldn't escape. Women weren't allowed outside. I glimpsed them from a distance. One chained in a yard sweeping, one curled in a pigsty, one visible only through a cracked door. One pregnant, badly beaten. They should have had futures, doctors, teachers, any career they wanted. Loved by parents, cherished by friends, treasured by partners, trusted by children. Instead, they lived like animals. No freedom, no dignity. I cried just walking past. At Garrett's, Niu slipped me a crumpled paper. 7 names, written crookedly, matched my past life's memory. At least 7 women in Shen Family Village right now. Others sold elsewhere. We'd track them after arrests. I radioed Captain Shun with locations. Now we waited for the takedown. 2 quiet days passed. The chief and Kellen grew impatient. Maybe timing differed this life. The chief didn't sell me to Garrett. He kept me for his oldest son, Yao, who was home from university. The chief had big hopes for Yao. Sent him to city boarding school since middle school, hoping he'd marry a city girl, escape village mess. But karma. Adult Yao barely hit 5 feet. Timid, caught secretly filming girls in dorms his first year. No girlfriend, no friends. The chief gave up and brought him home to meet me. I scraped my brain for flirting tips. 3 days later, Yao was hooked. Clung to my sleeve, swore he'd marry no one else. Strictly a mission. I just had to endure it. Yao pestered the chief for a big wedding. The chief glowed. His son was marrying a pretty college girl who actually wanted him. Clara, after tomorrow's wedding, we'll be together forever. Are you happy? Love-struck Yao, despite my no contact before wedding rule, had hung delivering love notes constantly. I rubbed my forehead and kept writing operation plans. Clara, I made a mistake. What? Loving you? You wake early, I wake early. We belong together. You don't sleep, I don't sleep. Perfect match. Clara, I can't think about you. My brain turns to static. Clara, I'll never treat you like other men treat their bought women. I won't hit you. I want a real life with you, bought women, I thought. I smiled. If I could get Yao talking about trafficking, that was evidence. Captain Chun approved. I drafted my first reply. Yao, is trafficking like in TV dramas? Sounds exciting. Gross. But Yao was obsessed. His letters piled up. In them, he admitted the whole village trafficking ring, led by his dad and Kellen, plus other involved villages. He even mentioned Tia. Tia is my sister. She's always spoiled me. And she sent you here? Fate, Clara. Perfect. I'd worried Tia might escape justice since she wasn't in the village with these letters. She wouldn't. While I hid the letters, Heyang grew impatient but feared Yao too much to leave. You got more letters? No? I'm going home. He picked his nose, squinting at me. I remembered him tricking me into drugged wine in my past life. Some people are born evil. I waved him closer. He shuffled over, eyes glued to my chest. I smiled, grabbed his cheek, twisted. He screamed, I'll kill you. I smirked. If your brother finds out you stared at his future wife's chest. Think Yao will kill you first? Hang, shut up, glared, slammed out. Little bastard. I knew he feared Yao. He wouldn't tell. Sleepless night. Wedding day. Chief's son marrying meant every village man attended except 5 on patrol. After ceremonies, I sat alone in the decorated room, red veil over my face. Outside, the chief toasted with Yao. I pulled out my hidden radio. Operation ready. Static. Then Captain Chun. Begin. 20 minutes out. 10 kilometers. Police were coming. But entry would alert village dogs. Patrols would hide women in mountains. Without evidence, arrests meant nothing. I'd planned all night. During the wedding, I'd slip out, rescue the 12 women plus Nuge, hand them to police. Then raid the chief's house, best laid plans. Half-drunk Yao stumbled in. Clara, wife, we consummate. I held up the drunk idiot, suppressed disgust, kissed his cheek. Not attraction. His mom had cracked the door, watching. After the 4th kiss, the door clicked shut. I exhaled. Yao collapsed like dead weight. I pulled out my mini taser. Zap. Out cold. 2 bird calls outside. Nio's signal. With Nio's help, I climbed out the window, squeezed her cheek. Nio, you take East End. I'll take West. 20 minutes, meet at the fireworks warehouse. Nio nodded firmly, handed me my prepped pack. I gave her a hammer and taser. Remember what I taught you? 1. If chained, smash the lock. 2. If caught, taser them. 3. Your safety first. If plan fails, run to the village entrance and wait for police. We split. I ran to the first East End house. All men at Chief's party. We didn't use lights. Only moonlight guided me. Heart pounding, nearly burst from my chest. Dodged one patrol. Reached my target. Why this house? New said they kept their bought woman tied with rope, wrists, and ankles, but didn't abuse her much. She still moved around the yard. Thin, but spirit intact. She'd help with other rescues. I climbed the low wall, crept inside. No dog, thank God. The woman inside heard me and froze. I showed my phone. I'm here to rescue you. Police coming. Be quiet. She whipped around, eyes glittering with tears. I cut the ropes. Let her outside. She shook, muffling sobs. Hang on, more needs saving. Help me. She wiped her face, nodded. On the way to House 2, I learned her name. Lily Chung, college junior, like me. Trafficked after helping a pregnant woman home. House 2, girl locked in pigsty. No one home. Lily stood watch while I smashed the lock. 3, 4, 5, with more rescuers. We got efficient. Lookouts. Tasering nosy patrol women. Lock breaking. 20 minutes later. I waited at the fireworks warehouse with 5 rescued women. Neo arrived soon. 7 girls trailing. Lily counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, including me, 8. Someone's missing. Neo and I looked at each other, then at the small house near the warehouse. The last woman, Lotus Chun, trafficked to Shen Family Village over 20 years ago. Lotus had a history. After arriving, she adapted fast, even volunteered to help with trafficking to survive. Then, karma hit. Her baby girl, born after 10 months, was drowned in a well by her mother-in-law for being female. Lotus went crazy, screamed, rambled. I hadn't planned to rescue her. She'd done evil. Plus, her madness might jeopardize us. But looking at the 7 shivering, terrified girls, I hesitated. You hide in the warehouse. I'll try for Lotus. Neo tugged my sleeve. Neo, you know the terrain? Get them safe. Can you do that? She clenched her little fists. Yes, Teacher Clara. After they disappeared inside, I ran toward Lotus's. If she fought, I'd taser her and drag her out. She was a victim too, in the end. Unexpectedly, Lotus cooperated. The moment she saw my wedding dress, she silently followed. No noise. Then she kicked a bottle. In dead silence, it clattered. I froze. Her man should be at the party. Maybe no one heard. Lotus went pale, stared at the bedroom door. Lotus, we need to go. A sleepy short man emerged. Worthless woman! You want to die? Disturbing my sleep. Her man was home. I grabbed my taser. Too slow. He spotted us. Lunged for the window. Grabbed his signal flare. I tased him, but the flare shot skyward. Red smoke bloomed. For a second, the chief's party seemed to go silent. I kicked the downed man. Cursed. Police weren't here yet. Flare exposed us. Only option. Hide in the warehouse with Lotus. We ran. Lily and Niu waited at the door, pulled us in. Inside, I caught my breath, then noticed unfamiliar faces. 5 more girls huddled in a cage. Lily explained. They were here when we arrived. Locked in, newly trafficked, I think. My blood ran cold. If there were new girls, the chief would check the warehouse first. We'd be caught. Everyone panicked. Lotus spoke. There's a cellar. Only I know where. I didn't trust her. She'd been a trafficker. But we had no choice. I went down first. It was rough, but big enough. Even had a tunnel exit. We organized. Niu went first. Girls followed. As the last 2, me and Lotus prepared to descend, the chief arrived with his men. Through the crack, I saw their fury. If caught, we'd die. Lotus, crazy Lotus, was calm. I grabbed her arm, tried to pull her down. She staggered, skin and bones. My eyes burned. Lotus, go! Yao likes me. I'll be fine. She patted my hand. pushed me into the cellar, snatched the small lighter from my bag. Below, girls caught me. Knew held tight, wiping my tears. Boom! Warehouse doors crashed open. Lotus! You rebelling? On my son's wedding day, the chief roared. Kellen, enough. Tie her up. Let's see what her organs sell for. Lotus's voice, fawning. Chief, Kellen, the women are in the cellar below. New ones, bought ones, even your daughter-in-law. What? The chief's roar. Get them! Panic in the cellar, girls shoving toward the tunnel. Knew Lotus was lying, but I doubted it. Wind blew. Warehouse doors slammed shut. Lotus laughed, tragic and wild, then rushed the chief. His torch fell. Lily dragged me. Go! It'll explode! Don't waste her sacrifice. I stumbled after, puppet-like. Seconds later, boom. The tunnel collapsed behind us. We crawled forever. Emerged at a mountain overlook. Below, Shen family village burned. Fire lit the warehouse. And finally, police sirens. Garrett died in that fire. Niyu came home with me. My parents adopted her. We named her Sunny Winters, hoping her life forward held only light. The chief lost both eyes to shrapnel. Kellen, 50% burns. As trafficking ringleaders, they confessed and got life sentences. Everyone involved faced justice. The chief, hoping for leniency, ratted out Tia. According to him, after going to college, she'd used her innocent appearance to traffic at least 5 people. By the time I returned to school, police had already taken her. Liam, ever the opportunist, joined classmates in denouncing Tia, hopped around like a monkey. When I got back, he shamelessly begged to reconcile, camped outside my dorm daily. My saved evidence came in handy. After his spicy chats and photos appeared anonymously on campus confession pages, he finally gave up and transferred home. With both trash gone, my world quieted. Days passed peacefully. Then Captain Chun messaged, Lotus Chun's parents are alive. Sending address. My chest tightened. Lotus saved me. I owed her. I wanted to help her parents through their remaining years. Fruit basket in hand, I wandered the city's shantytowns for 40 minutes before finding their door. Before I could explain, the old couple shoved me out, cursing. Get lost! Don't know any Lotus? Sold her for $500. She's not our daughter anymore. Worthless! Curse on the whole family line. I understood then. Why Lotus pretended madness. Why, with a tunnel to freedom, she never escaped. Where would she go? Learning you weren't trafficked but sold by your own parents. What despair. Shen family village wasn't home. This shantytown wasn't home. Without us, she'd have spent eternity by that well where her daughter drowned. Her smile before death, maybe dying with her enemies, was freedom. Like me in my past life. Maybe in another world Lotus gets her own rebirth. In this one, I got my fairy tale ending. Clara Winters lives happily with everyone she loves. The end. Subscribe for more drama. Up next, passerby became millionaire.